axe, the wind, the fire of conquered country, crown and throne. Why can't I cross this river? Pay no mind to the battles you've won. It'll take a lot more than rage and muscle.
There is no right or wrong answer. All I ask for is the truth. Anything you can tell me. I'm simply here to listen to your story. Now, before we begin, let's start with your name.
And together we'll cross the river. Nature, nurture, heaven and home. And together we'll cross the river.
I've always felt like I was talking to myself. I used to pour into others because then it'd make me feel like I was really making change or someone was really hearing me. But it felt like they were looking through me. No one's listening. You know, like in school. They want you to participate and raise your hand. And the teacher calls on you and you say the answer just to feel like you're getting somewhere, but it's pointless. Answering questions after questions just to feel like you're making a change. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything, does it? Society wants you to feel special and one of a kind. But we can't all be. We're just faces in a crowd, and it gets lonely. Everyone wants more, and everyone wants to be heard and understood. But all this, your input doesn't matter. The companies want you as a vessel, as a face in a crowd where everyone wants to be seen. Well, shit! No one wants to be lonely. No one wants to live their life on mute. Everyone wants to feel special. But we can't all be. Right? I used to think to myself,
I can't be the only one. I couldn't be the only one that was called those names. I'm not the only one who felt so worthless. You let a kid grow up believing that, and it makes them grow hateful. And then it becomes truth. But I grew up. I got older. I learned my lesson, right? I'm in control. I was always told I was never enough. Not big enough to hold my own. Not smart enough to be trusted on. But now, I'm getting everything I ever wanted. I feel like things are finally going my way. There's no more voices telling me what I need to be. I can do whatever I want. I'll take and do and act however I want. And who's gonna stop me? I'm finally getting what I deserve. I didn't know what I was living for back then, but now, this is my story. I'll have my voice heard, and it feels powerful. And for anyone who has an issue with that, they better keep their mouth shut, or they're going to get hurt. Everyone's always trying to bring you down, but they're not going to get me. I deserve to be in control. I deserve to have my dreams come to life. I always get what I want.
That's all he ever wanted. After we started dating, he started opening up about some of the run-ins he'd had with white people. He used to say that I can feel their eyes on me, and it burns. All I am to them is a color. But he was raised in a community that accepted everyone. He'd say that our colors were cultures and family and roots and differences. Differences can lead to conflict, but for him, there was pride in differences. And because of that, he believed that differences will lead to growth. And that's what everyone needs. And here, he feels like people don't understand. They're afraid to grow. And he has to change to fit in. And he has to dress a certain way and talk a certain way so that the eyes stop following him and the eyes burn. You can't ignore that. The world strives for conformity, and it's clear that people weed out those who don't conform. One day, he came home and he sat down at the kitchen table. He was defeated, upset, and tired. He turned to me and asked, "Don't our differences make us who we are? Why do I have to change? Am I so different than them? I love who I am. Why is that so wrong?"
I'm not sure what's wrong with me. I went out with my friends last night and I started to panic. Millions of red flags going off in my mind. I stood near the clearly marked exits the whole time because there were too many people. Sometimes it feels like I'm suffocating or like I can't speak, just stammering as they ask me if I'm okay. I nodded because I couldn't tell them. Because 5 minutes ago I was fine. I was with them there, but I was also somewhere else. I was sad. And I felt that sadness, even if I don't understand it. It's a vicious voice that tells me I am not worthy. It's this cycle that tells me I am unable to connect with anyone. And I believe this, even though I know it's a lie. And I know it's a lie, but my body tells me it's the truth. The mind versus the chemical compounds of the brain. My friends come to find me, and I apologize for ruining the night. My hands are sweaty and I can't look anyone in the eyes. Sometimes, what's on the inside, who I am when I'm with my friends, gets lost and I'm stuck sprinting, trying to get back to them. It's a skill I have yet to learn. To keep breathing, even when the air feels so thin.
It was always, "You're not thin enough," or "You're too thin." The comments can be brutal. It's like everywhere you go, you're putting yourself on display for the world. Criticisms, comparisons, you get used to it. Talking about bodies and sizes used to make me feel really anxious because I was never what they considered the standard. No one is ever perfect, and the world is always searching for more. But online, I can be anything I want to be. It's a curated experience, if that makes sense. With social media, I can show only the best parts of myself. The edits, the angles, the filters. I only let them know what I want them to know. It's still me, but better. I can project confidence, expression, acceptance. I can act as if I am really proud of who I am, or even as if I truly do love myself. They won't know. It's all an illusion, after all. But it's fake. Social media is just one huge equation. And after a while, you just learn to cheat the system. I've learned to hone myself, to maximize the outcome. And it works. It shouldn't work, but it does, and that's the truth. I've got people saying how empowering I am, or even how beautiful I am. You don't know one thing about me.
I think what it boils down to is greed. These massive corporations are burning coal, poisoning our water, contributing to the rise in natural disasters, all to profit off of us. They take and they take and they convince us that we should do the same. But the wealthy have the most access to feeding their greed. And they are going to outlive us all. But not for long. The earth is going down, and it's taking everyone with it. Everyone. I used to dream about having a child, but those dreams have turned into nightmares. I don't want to bring them into all this mess. I mean, I just want to help, and I feel like that wouldn't help, and I don't want to force someone into that kind of suffering. I don't know. Whenever I get thinking like this, like the future, I feel like I'm in the eye of a hurricane. And I don't know which way to turn.
You know, I'd turn to family and talk to my parents. I could talk to them about everything. They were always there for me, unconditionally. You know, it was like I could let my guard down. I could be at rest with them. You know, I could take off the mask and show who I really was. Growing up, my parents tried to make me the best person I could be. You know? And they were always trying to teach me something. Don't do that, or stop wasting your day. You know, go make your bed, you know, things like that. But it got to the point I was afraid to let them down. You know that feeling when you love someone so much you just don't want to burden them? That's how I felt for a while. I just didn't want to fail them again and again and again and again, you know. And yet they were always there, telling me to get back up. So I did. And I did it for them. You know, I gave it my all so that they'd be proud. But I just really took it all so much for granted. I really took it all so much for granted. My parents wanted the best for me because they knew that the world does not care. You know, you have to prove that you're worth it. You know, that's why they always wanted the best for me, because they believed in me. They just wanted me to believe in myself. You know, that was the goal. That they wanted me to want it. You know, they wanted me to get up every day and live my life and love others and smell the trees and hug strangers. You know, it was never about making them proud. They loved me as only a family could. There's not a lot I wouldn't give to feel that love again.
We did that every time. It was our tradition. She'd bring snacks over, all sorts of gummy bears and gummy worms, popcorn, ice cream bites. And we'd watch movies every Friday night until the sunrise. It was our weekly celebration of life. We loved those times. She really saw people. She saw when they weren't happy. She just knew. She always knew the right words to say and the right questions to ask. And she really felt people. If someone was sad, she would feel it too. It was incredible. It's hard to summarize a person. There's just so much there. I feel like I didn't know her as well as she knew people, though. She made sure to keep her pains hidden and pour into others because that's what she felt she was meant to do. She was that selfless. It was hard to throw her any sort of party because she hated receiving compliments or even that many people thinking of her. It was, to her, a lot of feelings. I just wish she'd known how many people were thinking of her. Of her smile, her laugh. So many people looked up to her, and that's what sticks. She used to think that for every good thing that happens, something bad will happen. We just can't tell. That's why she poured love into others as long as she could, so that she knew she was putting good into the world.
And what has that made you?
It's made me isolated and lonesome.
Finally, to be in control.
Someone who doesn't know what to do or how to help.
To be so aware of myself in the world.
Understand the illusion of our generation.
It has made me powerless.
I just don't take anyone for granted anymore.
It's made me know what love is. She was the embodiment of love.
Love.
The world would fall apart without it, I think.
Why do you say that?
The world is suffering, and people are suffering. It's crazy to think about it. You probably shouldn't. It'd just be...
Too much?
Yeah. Too much. It's just a lot. It's hard to think of a hopeful future. Things are changing for the worse.
Tell me more about that.
Well, people just don't care like they used to. They don't care about tomorrow. And if we don't change, who knows if there is a hopeful future or not? Not unless we change. Can you imagine that?
Yes. Yes, I can.